Alright guys, let's not waste any time because your man Coach Sambo is going to give you some awesome tips for your power move training. Coming right up. What's up guys, this is your man Coach Sambo, your online b-boy coach. And if you're new to this channel right here, then first of all, I welcome thy.
Give me 5 push-ups.
And right here on this YouTube channel, you can find a lot of breaking tutorials, a few comedy videos, and also some really cool tip and trick videos such as this one, where I share a lot of information after being breaking for almost 25 years now. But I've also been coaching for more than 15 years right now. With my students, the Battle Droids crew, I'm really proud to say that we managed to get this and this, which is 2-time Battle of the Year Kids World Champs. And I'm not here to brag, my good friends, but I'm just trying to show you where these lessons and all these tips come from, because after training and working with these amazing students over the years, you know, you do pick up a thing or two, and that's what I'm sharing on this YouTube channel. So if you're new to this YouTube channel right here, you might want to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the new videos that I will be uploading in the future. And you can subscribe just by hitting the little red button that you can find
right there.
So working on power moves is a delicate process, and after teaching a lot of kids how to do air flares and all these kind of things, there are a lot of things that could speed up the process of you evolving within your power moves. So the first thing I'm going to share right here is pretty obvious, and that's the fact that you need to be really consistent and you need a shitload of patience. Being consistent and training things consistently is something I've noticed a lot of people lack. But let me tell you a little story right here. Did you know that it took me more than 8 years to learn how to do 2 air flares? That's right, 8 years. And obviously I didn't really have the technique or the know-how. I was just throwing myself in every which way. But it just comes to show that if you don't have the technique or the method or the secret to learn a certain move, being consistent and patient still pays off. But imagine you being consistent and patient and getting the right techniques and methods, and obviously you're not going to learn air flares in like 8 years, like I did. When looking at my new upcoming students, some of them are picking up air flares in like under a year.
Which makes me freaking jealous, bro.
But also very happy, of course. So that just comes to say that if you practice a certain move for like a week, and then you don't practice it for like a month, you're not being very consistent, that you can't hope for these kind of results at a quick pace. So it all kind of starts
right here.
The next thing I want to share right here is you want to take your warm-up very seriously.
Yo, Sambo, I already knew that, bro.
Well, I think most of you guys do realize that a good warm-up is really, really important, but still I see a lot of people, including my own students, just walk up in the gym and with no warm-up, just busting out power moves and stuff like that. And I know some of you guys might be young and you're just full of energy, but making a habit of this is going to hurt your consistency in the long run. Why? Because one day or another, as your level starts to rise, one day you're probably going to injure yourself. And once you get injured, it's going to hurt your consistency. And if you're not consistent, you're not going to evolve as fast as you could if you would just use your brain and warm up. I have a video on warm up that you can find on my YouTube channel, of course. So definitely check that one out if you want more insights on warm up. Next awesome tip for your power moves is try to master the freezes that are linked to the power moves. Every power move actually develops out of a certain freeze. 2000s and air flares develop out of handstand. Hand spins, windmills, all develop out of the turtle or baby freeze. Shoulder spin obviously comes from the shoulder freeze. Now you see, the better you master that freeze, the more you can play around with that freeze, the faster you will learn certain power moves. So what you actually want to do is after your warm-up or by the end of your warm-up, you actually want to start training and rehearsing and playing around with these freezes. And let me just add another tip right here, is you want to train those freezes on both sides. Why? Well, mastering your freezes on both sides is going to lead to a lot more opportunities in the future for you to create more power moves and more variations. So if that's not a good enough reason for you, then I don't know what is. Now, if you're just starting out with power moves, you might want to have a list of what power moves to learn and train first. Well, I'm gonna give you that list right now. So the first power moves that I teach my students are basically the backspin, handspin, and the spinning handstand. Once students get to unlock these kind of moves, then they open up the doors to learn moves like the windmill, the head spin, shoulder spins, 90s, 2000s. And once all of that starts to get cooking, only then are they actually ready to learn stuff like halo, flare, air flare, elbow air flare, and all these harder basic power moves. Only once you master a basic version of a power move are you also ready to learn variations of that basic power move. So once you unlock that windmill, then you can start learning the munch mill or the tombstone windmill or all the other gazillion variations that you can find on my YouTube channel, of course. Now, another really good tip right here is not just training your freezes, but also trying to combine freezes on different levels and using all of the freezes possible on both sides. So going from your turtle freeze up to handstand, and then going from your handstand down to your elbow freeze on the other side. And just freestyling and playing around with all these different combos. The better you control these combos, the easier you will learn certain power moves, and the faster your body has adapted to these positions that are needed to unlock these freaking power moves. Next tip right here is you want to do additional strength training and workouts just to reinforce your muscles and joints. Lifting a few weights now and then could really help you feel more confident and get a better grip or control on your power moves. Adding the fact that it's also going to help you not get injured as quickly as someone that doesn't do the extra workouts and basically doesn't really take care of his or her body. But your body is the only instrument you have to learn those power moves. So so you better take good care of it. But don't work out too much because you don't want to get too buffed, and once you start lifting too much weights, you're going to lose a lot of flexibility. And that just brings me to this next tip right here, which is having extra flexibility can help you a lot getting a better technique and better execution of your power moves. Now, specifically for power moves, you need a good flexibility in your hips and preferably also in your shoulders. But any other flexibility that you would add on top of that could lead to extra possibilities within your power moves. Let's say, for example, a lotus. If you're flexible enough to execute a lotus, you can use that flexibility and execute it within a certain power move. So try and figure out what kind of flexibilities you might have, and then try and find a way to creatively incorporate that into your power moves. So first of all, you develop more character and personality as a b-boy or a b-girl, but above that, it's just going to give you extra possibilities to play around with and combine later through time. Next tip right here is try to practice and train with people that are working on the same moves as you. Training moves with other people gives you that extra boost. For example, if you would train air flares with a friend and you've both been stuck with one air flare for a while, but your buddy just unlocked 3 air flares for the first time, hey, you might be a little frustrated at first, but you can convert that frustration into motivation, and that's going to boost you up and motivate you more and ultimately speed up your process of learning that certain move. Also, training with people that have a higher level than you is a really good boost because it just raises your standards. Let's just say if you train with a bunch of people that can all do air flare, then without you knowing, air flare will become a normal thing, pushing away doubts and second thoughts and just making the idea of you performing air flare look like a normal thing. And that's obviously also going to help you progress faster throughout time.